Is reality a lie? Look around you. The screen you're staring at, the air you're breathing, the ground beneath your feet. Are they real, or are we all living inside a simulation? Elon Musk once said, "The odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions." Think about that for a second. What if everything you've ever known, every memory, every sensation, is just a complex code running in a supercomputer? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mind-bending questions of our time. Is reality a simulation? We'll explore the cutting-edge science of quantum physics, the ancient wisdom of esoteric teachings, and the shocking intersections between them. By the end of this video, you might just question everything you thought you knew about existence. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more thought-provoking content. Section 2. What is the simulation theory? The simulation theory is the idea that our reality might not be the base layer of existence, but rather a simulated construct, much like a highly advanced video game. This concept isn't new. Philosophers like René Descartes and even ancient thinkers have pondered the nature of reality. However, the modern version of this theory was popularized by philosopher Nick Bostrom in 2003. Bostrom's simulation argument presents 3 possibilities. 1. Humanity goes extinct before developing the technology to create simulations. 2. Advanced civilizations choose not to run simulations. 3. We are almost certainly living in a simulation. Bostrom argues that if advanced civilizations have the capability to create simulations indistinguishable from reality, the number of simulated beings would vastly outnumber those in base reality. Therefore, the odds of us being in the real world are astronomically low. Elon Musk has taken this idea even further, stating that the likelihood of us not being in a simulation is 1 in billions. He compares it to the evolution of video games, from Pong to hyper-realistic virtual reality, and suggests that if technology continues to advance, future civilizations could create simulations so real that the inhabitants wouldn't know they're inside one. But why are scientists and philosophers taking this idea seriously? For one, quantum physics has shown that reality behaves in strange, almost programmed ways. Additionally, the rapid advancement of virtual reality and artificial intelligence makes the idea of creating realistic simulations seem less like science fiction and more like an inevitable future. Section 3. Quantum physics. Can we bend reality? Quantum physics is the branch of science that studies the smallest particles in the universe, and it has completely revolutionized our understanding of reality. One of the most famous experiments in quantum physics is the Double-Slit experiment, which shows that particles like electrons behave differently when observed. When no one is watching, they act like waves, creating an interference pattern. But when observed, they behave like particles. This suggests that reality might be influenced by the act of observation, a concept eerily similar to how a simulation might only render what's being observed to save processing power. Another mind-blowing concept is quantum entanglement, where 2 particles become linked, and changing the state of one instantly affects the other, no matter how far apart they are. Albert Einstein famously called this spooky action at a distance. If reality were a simulation, this could be explained as a kind of glitch or optimization in the code, where distant objects are connected to reduce computational load. Quantum physics also introduces the idea that reality isn't fixed. Instead, it's probabilistic, meaning particles exist in a state of superposition until observed. This aligns with the simulation hypothesis, where reality is only rendered when necessary. Could it be that the universe is running on a quantum computer and what we perceive as reality is just the output of complex calculations? Section 4. Ancient wisdom and the simulation concept. Long before modern science, ancient civilizations were already questioning the nature of reality. In Hinduism, the concept of Maya teaches that the physical world is an illusion, a veil that hides the true nature of existence. According to this philosophy, what we perceive as reality is just a projection of a higher truth. Similarly, in Plato's Allegory of the cave, prisoners are chained inside a cave, only able to see shadows on the wall. They mistake these shadows for reality until one prisoner escapes and sees the true world outside. This allegory suggests that our perception of reality might be limited, and there's a deeper truth waiting to be discovered. In Gnostic teachings, the material world is seen as a flawed creation, crafted by a lesser deity called the demiurge. According to Gnostics, humans are trapped in this false reality and must seek spiritual knowledge to escape it. These ancient ideas eerily mirror the modern simulation theory, suggesting that humanity has long suspected that reality might not be what it seems. What's fascinating is how these ancient philosophies align with modern scientific discoveries. Could it be that our ancestors had insights into the true nature of reality, insights that we're only now beginning to understand through science? Section 5. The brain and consciousness. Is our perception manipulable? If reality is a simulation, then our perception of it is everything. The human brain is essentially a biological computer, processing sensory information to create our experience of the world. But what if this process can be manipulated? Consider dreams. When we dream, our brain creates entire worlds that feel completely real until we wake up. This shows that our perception of reality is highly malleable. Similarly, virtual reality technology can trick our brains into believing we're in a different environment, even though we know it's not real. Then there's the role of psychedelics like DMT, which can drastically alter our perception of reality. People who've taken DMT often report experiencing otherworldly dimensions and entities, leading some to speculate that these substances might hack the simulation, allowing us to see beyond the programmed reality. Even without external influences, our brains can be tricked. Optical illusions, for example, show how easily our perception can be manipulated. If our brains are so easily fooled, how can we be sure that what we're experiencing is real? Could it be that our entire reality is just a sophisticated illusion created by our brains or by a higher intelligence running the simulation? Section 6. Universal codes, mathematics, fractals, and the clues of simulation. Mathematics is often called the language of the universe, and for good reason. From the Fibonacci sequence to the golden ratio, mathematical patterns are everywhere in nature. These patterns suggest that the universe operates according to precise rules that could be the foundation of a simulated reality. Fractals, for example, are infinitely complex patterns that repeat at different scales. They're found in everything from snowflakes to galaxies, suggesting a kind of code underlying the structure of the universe. If reality were a simulation, fractals could be evidence of the algorithms used to generate it. Even the laws of physics seem to follow mathematical principles. The speed of light, the gravitational constant, and other fundamental constants are so precise that they've led some scientists to speculate that they might be the settings of a simulated universe. If the universe were a computer program, these constants would be the parameters that define how it operates. But what about the idea that the universe itself might be a kind of computer? Some physicists have proposed that space and time are made up of tiny, discrete units, much like the pixels on a screen. This theory, known as digital physics, suggests that the universe could be a vast computational system, processing information at the most fundamental level. If this is true, then the universe might be governed by a set of algorithms, and our reality could be the result of those algorithms running their course. This idea is supported by the fact that many physical phenomena can be described using mathematical equations. From the motion of planets to the behavior of subatomic particles, everything seems to follow a set of rules that can be expressed mathematically. Section 7. Artificial Intelligence and Simulation. Can we create our own universe? As technology advances, the line between reality and simulation becomes increasingly blurred. Artificial intelligence, AI, and virtual reality are two fields that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. With AI, we're creating systems that can learn, adapt, and even think for themselves. With VR, we're creating immersive environments that can fool our senses into believing they're real. But what if we take this a step further? What if we create a simulation so advanced that the beings inside it are conscious and self-aware? This idea, known as artificial consciousness, raises profound ethical and philosophical questions. If we can create conscious beings in a simulation, does that mean we could be living in one ourselves? Some scientists are already working on creating realistic simulations of the universe. For example, the Millennium simulation is a computer model that simulates the formation of galaxies and large-scale structures in the universe. While this simulation is far from being a perfect replica of reality, it shows that we're capable of creating complex, realistic models of the universe. If we continue to advance in this direction, it's not hard to imagine a future where we can create simulations that are indistinguishable from reality. And if we can do that, then it's possible that we're already living in a simulation created by a more advanced civilization. Section 8. If we're in a simulation, what does it mean? If the simulation hypothesis is true, it has profound implications for our understanding of reality, free will, and the nature of existence. One of the most immediate questions is, do we have free will? If we're living in a simulation, then our actions and decisions might be predetermined by the code that runs the simulation. This raises questions about morality, responsibility, and the nature of choice. Another question is, can we change the rules of the simulation? If we're living in a simulated reality, then it's possible that the rules governing our universe could be altered. This could open up new possibilities for science and technology, allowing us to achieve things that are currently impossible. But perhaps the most important question is, what is the purpose of the simulation? If we're living in a simulated reality, then there must be a reason for it. Are we part of an experiment? Are we being observed by a higher intelligence? Or is the simulation simply a form of entertainment for its creators? These questions might seem unanswerable, but they're worth considering. If we're living in a simulation, then understanding its nature and purpose could be the key to unlocking new levels of knowledge and understanding. Section 9. How should we respond to the simulation hypothesis? If the simulation hypothesis is true, how should we respond? Should we try to hack the simulation and uncover its secrets? Or should we accept our reality as it is and focus on living meaningful lives? One approach is to embrace the idea that reality is a simulation and use it as a tool for personal growth. If we're living in a simulated reality, then our thoughts and actions might have a greater impact than we realize. By focusing on positive thoughts and actions, we might be able to influence the simulation in our favor. Another approach is to seek out the creators of the simulation. If we're living in a simulated reality, then there must be a higher intelligence or civilization that created it. By advancing our technology and understanding of the universe, we might be able to communicate with these creators and learn more about the nature of our existence. Ultimately, the simulation hypothesis challenges us to think deeply about the nature of reality and our place in the universe. Whether or not we're living in a simulation, the questions it raises are worth exploring. Section 10. Conclusion. Are you ready to explore reality? As we come to the end of this journey, one thing is clear. The nature of reality is far more mysterious and complex than we often assume. The simulation hypothesis, while seemingly outlandish at first glance, forces us to confront profound questions about existence, consciousness, and the universe itself. Whether you're convinced by the arguments or remain skeptical, the very act of questioning reality opens up new avenues of thought and exploration. Let's recap what we've discovered. Simulation theory suggests that our reality might be an artificial construct, created by a higher intelligence or advanced civilization. Philosophers like Nick Bostrom and figures like Elon Musk have brought this idea into the mainstream, arguing that the odds of us living in base reality are incredibly slim. Quantum physics has shown us that reality behaves in strange, almost programmed ways. From the double-slit experiment to quantum entanglement, the rules of the universe seem to hint at a deeper, possibly simulated, framework. Ancient wisdom, from Hinduism's concept of Maya to Plato's allegory of the cave, has long suggested that our perception of reality might be an illusion. These ancient ideas eerily align with modern scientific theories, bridging the gap between spirituality and science. Consciousness and perception play a crucial role in shaping our experience of reality. Whether through dreams, virtual reality, or psychedelic experiences, our brains can be easily manipulated, raising questions about the true nature of what we perceive. Mathematics and fractals reveal a universe governed by precise, almost algorithmic rules. The presence of universal patterns, like the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, suggests that reality might be built on a mathematical foundation. Artificial intelligence and technology are bringing us closer to creating our own simulations. If we can create conscious beings in a virtual world, it's not far-fetched to imagine that we might already be living in one. But what does all of this mean for us? If we're living in a simulation, how should we respond? Here are a few ways to approach this mind-bending idea. Embrace curiosity and exploration. The simulation hypothesis invites us to question everything we know. Instead of accepting reality at face value, we can adopt a mindset of curiosity and exploration. What if the universe is far stranger and more wonderful than we've ever imagined? By seeking out new knowledge and experiences, we can expand our understanding of reality and our place within it. 2. Focus on personal growth. If reality is a simulation, then our thoughts and actions might have a greater impact than we realize. By focusing on positive thoughts, meaningful relationships, and personal growth, we might be able to influence the simulation in our favor. After all, if we're living in a programmed reality, then our consciousness could be the key to unlocking its secrets. 3. Seek connection and purpose. Whether we're in a simulation or not, the search for meaning and connection is a fundamental part of the human experience. By building strong relationships, pursuing our passions, and contributing to the well-being of others, we can create a sense of purpose that transcends the nature of reality itself. 4. Push the boundaries of science and technology. If we're living in a simulation, then understanding its rules and limitations could be the key to unlocking new levels of knowledge and capability. By advancing our understanding of quantum physics, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality, we might one day be able to hack the simulation and uncover its secrets. 5. Stay open-minded. The simulation hypothesis is just one of many theories about the nature of reality. While it's a fascinating idea, it's important to remain open-minded and consider other possibilities. Whether we're living in a simulation, a multiverse, or a purely physical reality, the quest for understanding is what drives us forward. So, where do we go from here? The simulation hypothesis challenges us to think deeply about the nature of reality and our place in the universe. It invites us to question our assumptions, explore new ideas, and embrace the unknown. Whether or not we're living in a simulation, the journey of discovery is what makes life meaningful. As we wrap up this video, I want to leave you with a question. What if reality is not what it seems? What if the world around you is just a small part of a much larger, more complex system. How would that change the way you live your life? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the nature of reality, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Let us know in the comments what you think about the simulation hypothesis. Do you believe we're living in a simulation, or is there more to the story? And if you could hack the simulation, what would you change? Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Remember, reality is not just what you see, it's what you dare to imagine.